Welcome back to my channel. It's Tosin Ade. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into how to become her. I'll just start off with the journey that it took to get to who I am today. I am 26 years old. I'm turning 27 on June 19th. And when I say that I'm turning 27, it's pretty crazy to me because when you're younger, you kind of imagine what life's gonna be like in your 20s. It ends up being much different. But one thing that I had to learn, and I guess the first step of becoming the woman that you want to be, is truly surrendering to God. I promise you, surrendering to God is really the best thing that you could ever do for your life and for yourself. I'm the firstborn, so I'm very much type A. I like to plan everything. I like to control everything as much as I can. And what I realized is that the more that I tried to control the trajectory of my life, things still didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted them to happen. Like, some of them did still happen, but it just happened in a way that wasn't what I was expecting. And I think the first thing that you have to do to get out of that mindset is really just surrendering to God, just so you commit all the decisions that you make in life to Him. And the best thing that you could do for yourself as a woman is truly get closer to God so He can help you in the decisions that you make when it comes to anything in life, career, your marriage, or your relationships, decisions on whether you should move somewhere or not, your business, your brand, everything. Everything is truly so much better when you have God at the center. It's something that you choose to live your life a certain way, and you choose to spread love. And it is never too late to accept God. Even if you feel like, you've been living your life a certain type of way and you feel ashamed, it is never too late to rededicate yourself to Him so that way He can help you in everything in life. So that's really number one. And that's the number one thing that has made me be the woman that I am today. Number two. So in my experience, I would say I grew up pretty confident. I would say, like, yes, I was a shy person, but I grew up singing. So obviously, when you're a singer and you perform at different events, because I performed at talent shows, I performed at weddings, I performed at parties. So pretty much I would say that, yes, deep down inside I was shy, but I still had a confidence in myself when it was time to perform or it was time to show my talents. So I believe that as a woman, first thing after God is really just building that confidence. If you feel like there's things that you're insecure about, obviously those don't go away so quickly. But I do believe that that inner confidence and that self-love is so important. It really does help you become the woman that you dream to be. I know that all of us as women, when we grew up, we probably had women in our lives, or we had celebrities that we looked up to that we felt like, oh, I want to be like her. She's so confident. She's so this and that. And even those people had to go through seasons of building that confidence. And the great thing is that I always had, parents that made me feel confident. They encouraged me in everything that I tried out. My dad was so supportive when it came to my singing. But I understand that some people do not have a relationship like that with their parents, where their parents are able to build up that confidence in them. And that's when you actually have to make a conscious decision to choose yourself, to choose self-love, to choose to encourage yourself, because that's all you can really do. I think that building confidence is definitely a gradual thing. It's not something that you're just easily confident and that's just that. No, as girls, growing up, we go through a lot of things at school. We go through the puberty stage. We go through all of those things, and it's obviously not going to be easy. But the number one thing you can do for yourself to build confidence is saying it to yourself. You really should write down exactly who you are. I'm beautiful, I'm intelligent, I'm smart, I'm successful. You have to write those things down, because things that you speak over yourself, they will come to pass. The tongue is very powerful, and if you don't believe it, You have to start telling yourself that and claiming it over yourself. So that way you will start building that confidence. But if you constantly tear yourself down and you constantly point out the things that you don't like about yourself, the things maybe physically that you don't like about yourself, you constantly compare yourself. Comparison really is the thief of joy. And they say that, but it's very true. And I know you can comment down below if you've had experiences where you kind of doubt your journey or you doubt where you are in life or how you look because you're comparing yourself to women online or even just like beautiful women in school or whatever age you are. But comparing yourself does nothing for your confidence. It is so detrimental to your mental health. It's so detrimental to your confidence, your self-love, your self-worth. And I believe that confidence truly starts within conscious effort to really just love yourself. And I'm not saying that that doesn't mean you cannot improve the things that you have insecurity about. For instance, some people, they go to the gym because they want to improve their body. I do that. I go to the gym because I want to look a certain way physically, and I also just want to always feel healthy. Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. The bass is really eating. But yes, there's nothing wrong with seeking improvements to yourself. All those things are totally fine with helping build your confidence because you're improving the things that you don't particularly love about your appearance. But always make sure that the first thing you're improving is the inner. You're working on how you feel about yourself inside, the self-love that you have for yourself. Work on the inner part of yourself, because no matter how much you do physically, if you don't have that love, that self-love for yourself, then you will always be getting back on the table. You're always going to be looking for, and no shade, no tea to the people who go get surgery. That's no shade. I mean, I've never had surgery before, but I do believe that some people do feel the need to constantly go back because a level of self-love is not there and they're looking for this perfection, but the perfection's never gonna come, honestly. We're always gonna have things about ourselves that we want to improve literally our entire lives. Just want to make sure that you work on the inner work that you need to do, and that is just learning to love yourself, learning to love who you are, even with your flaws, being self-aware. So when you're doing the inner work of building your confidence, you also want to be self-aware that, okay, I do want to be confident, but what are some things that I can improve to be a better woman, a better girl, a better lady? If you feel like you don't see anything, you can ask your loved ones, like, what do you think I can improve on? What aspects of my personality, of my character, of my behavior can I improve? So I think that's very important to the journey of becoming her. So I hope y'all are loving the tips so far. I feel like this makeup is going to turn out so beautiful. So I'm just about to set my under eye so I don't mess it up. So this next point I'm really excited to talk about, because we do know that a lot of people are online giving their think pieces about it, and that's femininity. I think as a woman, there are people who are naturally very feminine, very soft, very delicate, very all of the words that you could think of when it comes to being feminine. But then there are some people who, the way that they were raised, they weren't really taught to be that feminine as a girl, or they weren't given that space to be super girly or very soft, or they just grew up in a rough environment to where they had to harden up. You know, just certain circumstances that people grow up in, it can very much determine how they'll turn out as a woman. And I grew up in a very normal household. I could definitely be myself as a girl and just maintain that femininity. Pretty much, I was always girly. But I do realize that as I get older and I meet certain people, not everybody got that luxury of like being comfortable in their femininity. Some people grew up in a very much fight or flight environment, and that did cause them to be more masculine than they would like or than they would even notice. It's okay, you know, if you find yourself like that, because sometimes people are just a product of their environment and it's not their fault that they had to grow up in that type of environment. I grew up the firstborn. I'm able to lead a team. I'm able to lead a household because of that foundation of being the firstborn. I've also learned to still maintain my femininity, meaning I do like for a man to open my door, for a man to speak with me with kindness. Men that are disrespectful, it really does throw me off. I feel like, now I have zero tolerance for anything that's going to get me out of character. And not just a man, but anybody. Clock that. When it comes to femininity, I'm just talking about when it comes to dating. So let's get into it. When it comes to dating, there's certain men that really, really love the femininity that a woman brings. So, they want you to, just be the woman while they take care of everything. As women, if you haven't really tapped into your femininity in a long time, that might be hard to get, back into a place where you can really just relax and just be a girl. Like, we are all just a girl. You really just gotta go back to remembering how delicate you are and how important you are as a woman. Women can truly just be soft again. They don't have to be a strong Black woman. They don't have to be a strong woman that has to endure things all the time. Being womanly and feminine, it really does bring out the masculinity in a man so much more. Being feminine, it just exudes confidence. Even if you were trying to get under my skin, you're not gonna get crazy reaction out of me. You're not gonna get screaming and yelling and getting out of my character, no. And I feel like, that has really helped me a lot in just like maintaining my composure. Sometimes it's difficult to respond to things in a very classy manner. It's not even more so about them, but it's just more so about you. If you really value yourself and you have a lot of self-love and you actually feel like you are so worthy of, respect, as a woman, you will like tap into your femininity and it will become easier for you to just be comfortable in your femininity and just, let someone take care of you. Let a man open your doors. Let a man just see you as the soft woman and delicate gift from God that we are as women. Just growing up, I always saw my dad open the door for women who are strangers, for my mom. If we're somewhere and someone needs to sit and they're a woman, he gets up. He doesn't sit there while the woman is standing. So I kind of already had that example of like how a woman should be treated. As women, we should be getting pampered. So that means pampering ourselves by not staying where we are disrespected. When there's disrespect, you just leave. I'm just gonna quietly dismiss myself. And I think one thing that a lot of people hate is when you don't give them a reaction. That has truly helped me be the woman that I am today. It's basically just learning how to stay true to who I am and not allow people to get me out of character has really, really helped me become the woman that I want to be. Another key to becoming her and just becoming the best woman that you can be for yourself is to make sure that you're willing to rediscover yourself. I really did rediscover who I was as a woman when I turned 25, because I actually did a whole lot of reflecting on who I am today. Do I like what's going on in my life right now? Do I like what I'm accepting right now? Do I like what I'm doing right now in terms of my career? Do I like what I'm doing in terms of my relationships, the decisions that I'm making? And when I got a rude awakening that there was definitely things that I was not happy about, then I began to do the self-work of rediscovering who I am and changing up things that I don't like, things that I'm accepting in my life that I shouldn't accept. At 25, I did rediscover myself, and that was the best thing that happened because it really did make me be way more accountable for my decisions that I've made. And it makes you feel like, let me actually fix this. When I turned 25, I actually had questions, for myself, because I was just thinking like, why are you accepting this type of behavior? You also have to do that work as well. If you don't actually choose to be a better person, you can pray all you want, but then whenever adversity comes or whenever life situations happen, you just go back to your old self because you're not actually rediscovering who you are. You're not actually trying to change. Rediscovering yourself may look like, how did I get to this place? what decisions did I make that affected where I am right now, and how can I get back on track? What character flaws am I noticing about myself? What things should I incorporate more of? What things in my life should I take out as a woman? It's okay to like face the reality and be disappointed about decisions you've made, or what you've accepted, what you've tolerated in your life. But the next thing is, what am I going to do about it? How am I going to rediscover myself as Tosin? How am I going to rediscover myself that I can change for the better and make sure that I don't make the same mistakes? Rediscovering myself helped me so much. Just held me accountable. I think that it can be scary as a woman to actually sit down and reflect on who you are as any type of position you hold in life, whether you're a sibling, whether you're a partner to somebody, whether you are a mother to someone. Ooh, loving this look. If we notice that we're losing ourselves in motherhood, or we're losing ourselves in our relationship, or we're losing ourselves in work or our business, whatever you're being consumed by, you have to take a step back and be willing to be like, okay, I do love these things, but I love myself and I want to be happy. So that brings me into my last point, which is becoming her, but continuing to be her moving forward. It's one thing to become her and become that dream woman you've always wanted to be, but it's another thing to actually maintain it and continue to be that woman. So let's talk about how we can at least continue being her and continue being the woman of our dreams. So trying to maintain being the woman of your dreams and being her, to maintain that, I think that is going to be universal for all of us as women, is to hold ourselves accountable. I do believe that that is the number one thing that we can do to stay at the place that we've worked so hard to get to. But it's also obviously going to be different, and it's going to look different for each woman. The main important thing is that you are holding yourself accountable. Whenever you get off track, you don't sit there and sulk in that and feel bad for yourself and just choose to just stay in that place. No, we're all going to make mistakes as we continue this life journey, and just hold ourselves accountable. That way, when we do stumble and we do mess up, we pick ourselves back up. Learn to forgive yourself when you fall. Learn to forgive yourself when you make another mistake. But yes, just be gentle with yourself in this era, and don't beat yourself up. Be gentle with yourself. So I have curled my hair and I put my dress on. I'm gonna go ahead and do my lip combo. I think that this look is literally the representation of grown women. I just love it. So I'm gonna take this red lipstick and I'm just gonna hood it. The last thing that I wanted to say is that another thing that I did have to learn about myself is that I do have the resting face, meaning I don't really look that approachable on the daily basis. I had to fix that about myself just because I don't want to look unapproachable to people. I don't want to look angry to where people feel nervous to walk up and speak to me. So I had to learn how to just look more approachable. I had to learn that about myself. So don't forget that, ladies. Okay, so we are now done with the entire look, and I have given you all my tips on how to become the woman of your dreams. I appreciate you all so much for watching this video today. I'm so excited that I was able to talk to my subscribers, and even if you are not currently a subscriber, please join the family. But let me know in the comments how you felt about my advice, what you have to add as well, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I appreciate you guys so much for all your support. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram at Tosin Ade with 2 A's, and follow me on TikTok at the Tosin Ade. And I love you all, and God loves you way more. Thank you so much, and I hope that you come back for the next video.